What is up, guys? TekTale here, Beats Clan Live, bringing y'all another episode of TekTale Tuesdays, the segment where I tell you guys a tale and you guys sit down and listen to my story. Alright, guys, so today we will be covering episodes 15 and 16 of Shotgun Warrior, the final episodes of Season 1. And I don't have Season 2 yet because I have writer's block. I do know everything that I want to write about, it's just getting it on paper and putting all the detail in it. So let's get this started. Shotgun Warrior, Episode 15. Conan floats in the air and begins to charge his beam. A questioned look is on Saikai's face. He wonders what Conan is doing. Conan says, "I wouldn't just stand there if I were you." He smirks and shoots the beam at Sai. Right as the beam almost hits him, Sai sends a force of air into the beam to slow it down so he has enough time to get out of the way. Sai says, "What did they do to you?" Conan says, "They made me stronger. Can't you feel that power? I'll demonstrate." He shoots another beam at Sai. Sai uses the Quasar Blade, filled with some of his chi energy, and splits the beam in half. He then uses his telekinesis to direct the beam to Conan at that moment. To direct the beam at Conan. At that moment, Conan shoots another beam at the other two to destroy them. While he was doing that, Sai was slinging the blade out at Conan and activates the little blades, and the sword cuts Conan on the side of his ribs. Sai directs the blade back around with his telekinetic powers and cuts the other side of his ribs. As the blade comes around for a third strike, Conan gets cut again and then catches the blade with his hand. Sai begins to retract the blade. As Conan gets closer to Sai, he shoots a beam at Sai's face, towards Sai. Sai tries to stop it with his mind, but he couldn't stop it. The blade fully retracts and cuts Conan multiple times as Sai flies back from the force of the explosion. Sai hits the ground and slides on his back and then rolls backwards to get to his feet. Conan lands on the ground and falls to one knee with his fist on the ground, holding him up as his other hand is holding his ribs while blood pours out from his ribs and hand. Conan says, "That blade won't get you far. If you think you're going to stop me, you've got another thing coming." Alrighty, so that is episode 15, and here we go, guys. Episode 16, the final episode, and this episode is pretty big. So let's get this started. Shotgun Warrior, episode 16. Conan takes out the dual sword staff, and Sai gets up to attack. Sai charges at Conan and leaps into the air and does a dive kick. Conan blocks the kick with his blades, and Sakai backflips off the blades and over Conan and knees Conan directly on his spine before Sai lands. So what he does is, in this, Sai charges at Conan, like I said, and when he comes down for that dive kick, he's going towards his face, and then Conan blocks the kick with the blades, like he crosses them over. And I know earlier I said like he threw a blade and Sai had windmill kicked it in the wall. Well, there's a bunch of clones of him, so there's multiple dual sword staffs now. So he blocks with the blades, and as he dive kicks down, he crosses the blades over, so it blocks it. And then the second he does that, he like turns around and does a backflip off the blades, and then when he's doing the backflip, like midway through the backflip, his head is like right above Conan's head, and as he's coming down to land behind Conan, he knees him in the spine. So he kneed him right before he lands. Conan falls forward and catches himself with his hands, turns to his right side, and kicks Sai in the chest. I'm just trying to explain to you everything that's running through my head, because this is like a major fight scene, and I had a lot of detail with it. And I'm not sure if a lot of times you guys catch what I'm saying. Yeah, so he falls to the ground, and he lands on his hands, turns to his right side, and then his knees are bent. So when he turns to his right side, he like kicks Sai in the chest, sending him flying. Sai flies back. He does a backflip and lands crouched on one hand and his feet. They charge at each other again, sword fighting. Their swords clash each other. Their swords clash. Each of them struggle, trying to overpower the other. Conan says, "Once I'm done with you, you will watch your students suffer." Sai says, "He is my brother." Sai uses his power to push Conan back, and his eyes turn white with black lightning shooting throughout them. Conan says, Did I hit a nerve? Maybe I'll turn him against you, so you would have to kill him." And then Conan has an evil grin on his face. Conan shoots his energy beam, and Sai bounces the beam away with his chi energy. Conan gets angry and starts shooting multiple beams. Sai cuts one of the beams in half with the quasar blade. He charges Conan and deflects the beams with his blade, and with the blade enchanted with his chi energy. Sai was moving at a very fast pace, and Conan's eyes could barely keep up. He appeared in front of Conan and scared him. Sai clenched his fist and rammed it into Conan's gut and knocked the wind out of him. Sai sends a force of energy flying into Conan. It sends Conan flying into the wall. Sai rushes toward Conan, elbows Conan in the face, then chokes him and runs Conan's body on the wall, followed by a choke slam into the ground, shattering the floor under Conan. So in that awesome epic fight scene right there, what happens is what I meant by when he elbows him and like chokes him is after he hits him in the gut, it knocks the wind out of him and then sends a force of energy at Conan. When it hits him into the wall, if you can picture any scene at all from Dragon Ball Z, whenever they get hit by a really powerful blast or punch or get knocked into a boulder, and how their body is imprinted on the stone. Well, that's basically what happened. He hit him with such a force of power that he gets hit into the wall and he sticks there. So Conan flies up, elbows him in the face. Not just a swift, elbow. It's a like he already has his elbow out, and when he does it, he just jams it in Conan's face, so that, that's like a lot of force there with his high speed. And then when he chokes him, he's still stuck in the wall. When he runs Conan's body through the wall, it's tearing the walls, tearing the wall apart and stuff. And then he takes him off the wall and then choke slams him into the ground. So, just demonstrating for you guys right there. Alright. Saikai says, "I'm going to send you back to the hellhole you crawled out of." Conan grabs Sai by the shirt, pulls Sai towards him as he charges his beam, and Conan says, "If I go, you're going with me." And he has an evil grin. Conan shoots his beam at Sai, sending him flying into the air, doing backflips. Sai hits the ground hard. As he gets up, Conan's sword staff blade pierces Sai's stomach. Conan stomps on Sai's chest and hits him with another beam. Conan says, "I'm taking your soul back to hell with me." He kicks Sai on the ground and sends him bouncing off the floor. So he was kind of still on the ground. Like after that, like he hit him with the blade, which kind of sent him flying back a little bit, and then he just stomps on the chest and then kicks him. Yeah. So anyway. Alright. Sai gets up and rips the blade from his stomach. A spear comes out of nowhere and hits Conan in the back of the shoulder blade. Conan turns around and blocks the oncoming arrows with his arm. There stands Sume in the distance. Writhing in pain from his ribs being pierced by Konin's horn, Konin shoots a beam at Sume, and Sume dodges with what little strength he has left. Konin shoots a second beam. It hits Sume. Konin continues to shoot beams at Sume, and Sai tries to rush over as he fights through the pain. He gets to Sume's side. Konin begins to fly toward the two at a high speed while shooting beams. Sume was blocking some of the beams with its Quasar blade, but was still getting hit by some of them. Both Sai and Sume block the beams with their Quasar blades. They see him in the smoke. Sai blocks Konin's hit and pushes Konin back. They both rush Konin. Sume jumps into the air, flipping with the Quasar blade extended. Konin blocks the hit and pushes Sume away. They continue to fight Konin, and he keeps blocking them both. They both back away quickly, and Sai's eyes turn white with black lightning shooting throughout them again. Sai forces Konin to the ground with gravity, then shoots two shotgun shells, and uses his telekinetic power to control the bullets. Sai sends the bullets flying, ripping through Konin's body, killing him. Konin was trying to fly away, but was not fast enough. He plummets to the floor. They walk out in front of him, take a moment to look at Konin's corpse, and then walk out. After they walk out, and the lab door slams shut, Konin's eyes open. So I kind of left a little cliffhanger for season 2 there. Let's see. I think there was one more thing that I wanted to explain. Alright, so with the smoke, when Konin was shooting the blades, they were making a bunch of smoke around him, from all the blast and everything. And then they're blocking all the beams with the Quasar blade. They see him in the smoke, and then, Sai's trying to block Konin's hit, and then he's pushing him away and everything. And then when they both rush Konin, Sume jumps into the air, flipping with the Quasar blade extended. That is kind of like it's a front flip with his arms extended out with the blade all the way out flipping. So if you're in the way, you get cut. And then when he was shooting the shotgun shells at him, and then he stops him and he tears it up, I was picturing his body just being ripped to shreds, tearing him apart and everything. I didn't really know what to say after they killed him, so I just kind of left it at, they walk over in front of him, take a moment to look at him, and then walk out. And then I left it there because Konin's eyes open, just to see what you guys think might happen. And I think that is it. So if you guys have any questions about anything about this entire series, please comment below, let me know. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this entire series of Shotgun Warrior. And I'm going to have to come up with some more stories to tell you guys for TekTale Tuesdays. But anyway, guys, this has been Tech Knight with the first season of Shotgun Warrior. Hopefully there are many more episodes to come if I can ever get to writing them. But until next week, guys, Tech Knight 2 is out.